Greetings everyone, Strategic Sage here with more Creeper World 4, and we're going to dive into one that's become very popular recently. The Play as Creeper is Back by Withers Chat. And this is a mode of play that, first one of the major modes of play that's been imported from Creeper World 3 to Creeper World 4, essentially fully. So, as the title states, we're playing as the enemy here. And just sort of full disclosure, I'm not a big fan of play as creeper maps. I find them tedious and grindy. But this one was requested, and it's also good to show it definitely at least once. If people want more of these, I can do more of these. I don't think that they're terrible or anything. It's just not my favorite sort of style. And it's definitely a totally different approach to playing. So, I said it's not too hard. That's actually, it ended up being harder than Withers Chat intended. If we look at the times, they're kind of scary high. Most of them in the hours range. You see some of them like 13 hours, there's 15 hours further down, 11 hours. And like the median time is literally somewhere around 3 to 4 hours for people who have completed this. Now we're not going to take that long, but this will not be some sort of quick 10-minute romp. And a lot of the tags, people want more, and then others saying, tedious slog and confuses them. And all of that is very appropriate reaction to this, because you just have to rethink how you're playing. And we are greeted with a lovely wall of text. Ha ha ha, on the joke here, death assistant. But this is items that I'm just going to go through and explain during the course of the mission, so feel free to pause the video here if you want to read all of it. I'm not going to go make everybody listen to me read it. So we'll keep moving down. And that's the last of it. Okay, so our objective, destroy the Rift Lab. Easier said than done. It is very well protected over here. It's got, earned shields on each side and a variety of other earned units. Every type of defensive thing is in place. Even got, some miners in there. So, yeah. Definitely an immediate attack is not going to work. And the way that pack maps work is that you have all of this spread out. Humans control virtually the entire map, and you just start off in a corner. But they only rebuild units in place where they are. They won't expand and build more things that they don't start with. And so it's sort of a puzzle type of atmosphere in terms of how we want to strategically try to gain more and more ground. It's also kind of grindy. Now we have the earn power here. That is an indicator of how many more units you can place on the map. We start with 2, but 1 is being taken up by this emitter. We want to place more crimson right away. And then that will, of course, improve our resistance to their attacks. We want to move out towards all of these. So you've got a mix of units here. We've got, anti-air in the missile launcher. We've got the snipers, cannons, and mortars. So it's a pretty good defensive setup to hem in the creeper here. And until we get rid of these units, we really can't do much else. Now, once we destroy them, again, they will rebuild them in place, but there's a key difference with their earned units. When you take one of those out, they can rebuild that unit, but you get the earn. They don't get the earn back, and that's how you grow in power. So earned human emplacements are a vital strategic objective. We want to head towards those as quickly as we can. And their initial defense is now failing. And now that that's done, we are going to get rid of our Crimsonator. We're going to build a launcher, and these can be used for spores, blobs, or skimmers. We're going to want a blob in this case. They have no additional sniper defense over here. The spores have limited payload, and knocking this out would not be as good as just taking what we want from it, which is the earn. Now, random goes to any place on the map. Structure goes to, like if we did structure on the pylon, it would go to any pylon on the map. I prefer to use location because I want to target them at a specific spot. Right there to go after that earned cannon. And then not only will they lose the benefit of the earned cannon, but we get another structure. So let's say we were to overspend. We're going to knock this out. And we're going to build another emitter. And another one here. Let's say I wasn't paying attention close enough to how many I have. I built a fourth. Goes to -1, and then none of them function. None of them function anywhere on the map. So you don't want to do that. That is bad. That is not good for your progress. So instead, I just want to have these be forward a bit. And then put the crimson in front. So this idea behind this is emitters behind crimson. And they flow over the crimson, and gradually the crimson part extends out. You don't want the crimsonator like too close to the enemy. You want to have a little bit of a gap for it to create this wedge or cone of crimson. But using the crimsonator is vital. And we cut off the energy flow to the shields, then we destroyed them, so all of that is good. And at this point, just want to push out a little more. And the early part here, of course, is just about ramping up your amount of creeper, but also ramping up the urns that are available to you as quickly as you possibly can. And that way you could increase whatever buildings, you want more emitters, or you want to throw out more blobs or spores or whatever you want to do. Now, this is not protected by snipers, so that's my next target. You can see this wall here is actually quite impressive, and that's kind of a tricky part to get by. But this is not protected by snipers. These are protected by snipers, but not anti-air. And then, you've got cannons around protecting this. This one over here does have a sniper protection. So there's a gradual progression of the difficulty in this map, as there ought to be, in terms of like how difficult it is to get to all of these. Then when we get to this wall, we've sort of reached close to the midpoint. Okay, so now as we continue to progress forward, we want to move forward to the front. Let's go ahead and throw up an emitter there. I said an emitter there. I don't know why, but I constantly am clicking the stash when I want the emitter. Anyway. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll move the other one. It'll only take about a second to knock them down. And then let's move forward our crimsonator. Now you can see that our overall creeper level's still increasing. And as long as that's happening, or you're moving towards a strategic objective, you're doing okay. When neither one of those things is happening anymore, you've really got to be aware enough to take a step back and reevaluate. So I'm going to throw up the launcher now. Get another blob going. And go after that one. Otherwise, I'm just going to let the creeper do its thing. Actually, I think I'll get a head start on the next part, so we'll go ahead and knock that down. And this launcher is going to be a spore. And you're going to come over here. I want to knock out this mortar and get its urn. Okay, now you have completed your task. So you're going to come over here as well. Plus we have another urn. So I'm going to do another one. Now notice I'm not taking down my last emitter, because I still need something to keep a modicum of creeper going. The other ones, you can head right over here, and having those spores come out in staggered fashion is all the better for dealing with the defenses out here. They do have a sprayer nearby to defend against anything that lands, but that's it. And you can see, of course, the mortars don't defend themselves well, as you have noticed, I'm sure, from playing normal games. And there we go. Another urn. Meaning, I can put up another launcher. Okay, we'll do spore again for now. So, my next goal here is to sort of spread these out. But I want to gain control. You can see the sprayer, went kaboom, and then a bunch of AC came out over this place. We've got to deal with that. I want all the snipers over on this plateau gone. Okay. So we should be pretty good to relocate a couple of these. What I'm going to do is turn them into blobs. And head that way. Not you. I like you where you are. Not you either. I want to keep a couple of spores going. Make sure that they don't rebuild all this stuff here. But if I get a couple of blobs headed out this way, then, you know, whatever interference we're running into, like cannons on the direction, you know, they'll eventually go through that and get down here to this. And now we have covered a little bit more of this in creeper, so they're not able to rebuild that cannon just yet. There we go. Alright, so now we need to switch over to emitters. Now, I'm still going to keep the couple of spores going up there for now. But all the other launchers... And there, I'm not sure if I have quite enough creeper yet. It's going to take a bit for that one to build. So I was probably a little premature on my part. There we go. Now it's coming up as our efforts here spread. The important part here is not so much, you know, where I put the emitters, is that I get them down. This one I want to relocate because it's important to have... See if we have a good... Nope, that's not... That's going to be deep enough. Okay, we'll put it here. That should be good. It's important to have an emitter over here to keep them from rebuilding across here. So that's what we're doing. And then this is going to gradually flow out. And we're pushing up over to this way. We've just got enough creeper coming, and they don't have enough firepower that can come back this way. That we're just pushing in here. I think we're close now to being able to move one up here. Yep. I'll take one more of these down now. I think I can get away with that. Let's see, where are you at? Yeah, 1.9, just about 2. There we go. Excellent. We'll risk taking this one down as well. So now we're working our way up here. And the whole point of this is to relocate. First of all, we've cut this off, and that's all going to go away soon. Stash again. Not what I want. But now we're taking the heights. We're going to want to head towards this, and of course we, again, can't just shoot a blob at it because it has sniper protection. So we actually have to work our way over here. So we're just keeping the one emitter over here, and then focusing out this direction. And now let's start with the Crimsonator again, because we're getting in range of the enemy. So let's see about there. Let's see how that works. And then I want to gradually move forward with my emitters. Of course, these areas where you have to move downhill and everything are interesting, and you can't just throw, like, you know, turp the area or whatever. You can't change the landscape. You just have to work with what you have available. A lot of creeper will get caught up in these pools, but we're still doing reasonably well here. And this is about to go. I'm going to move this forward a little bit more. And I'm not entirely sure about, you know, the strategy I've used on this mission, so if any of you out there have played it and you're like, look, this would have been easier this way, you know, go ahead and throw that out there. But for the most part, we're just flowing forward. You can see now the force, even with earned cannon, they have no chance of stopping us. And mission accomplished, we get another earn. So, at that point, I'm now wanting to move down here. And the reason I want to do that is this is the easiest way to get past this wall of resistance. There's just, it's not as quite as well guarded over here. You know, you've got all this over here. This is like uphill, not a lot of room to place things to move across here. This over here is too steep, and so I've tried many different ways of doing it, and coming down here is the best way that I know of. So to start off with, I just want to be producing a bunch of creeper over here. Just going to leave the one emitter on the other side, and everything else comes this way. Then let's throw some crimson in here. Gradually move forward with it. But it looks like we are progressing. There's that. And I want to wait a bit until, I mean, there goes a mortar. That's really helpful to us. Until we push up here and get into these cannons a bit. It looks like we're about to do it, though. Okay, we'll go ahead and remove you. The launcher again. No sniper guardians over here. So I want to blob down this. With the amount of creeper we have built up, it should only take one. And now that we're pushing up along the side here, we can begin to move emitters up. And now we have successfully gotten on the ridge. There we go. Bingo. You can go away. And now we're just going to throw emitters up here and consolidate our foothold. And the flow continues. Yay. Now I want to go after this. Let's increase our power even more. This one's a lot tougher to get to, but we can get to this one. You can see our overall creeper level has basically stalled. So that's another stash. That's a concern, but it's not something you're overly worried about yet. You can see that we are, you know, the Crimson is just pushing in here and they can't quite stop it. And this cannon is still hanging on, but it shouldn't be for long. There we go. Okay. So, we've basically reached... This is sort of what I call the end of the beginning of this level. And it's taken us almost 20 minutes. We could push up over here a little bit further. It's hard to make any more progress into these earned locations, though. Going up this hill is not easy at all because people just fall off on either side. Relocating to try to ramp up here, that's tough at all. I mean, I think this is the point in the map that if you're going to get stuck, you're probably going to get stuck here. And it's happened to me multiple times. You're going to have bad things happen here. You can try to yank out this emitter and try to fortify this, and then, you know, they end up going back over there and rebuilding. You do not have a lot of margin for error in proceeding from this point, at least not in any way that I could find. So after considerable experimentation, the best way I have found to do this is I want to charge up here and use this area here, which is relatively open and unmolested. It's close enough, and then try to work my way up onto this hill. It's still not particularly easy, but I don't know of a better way. So let's get after it. We are going to just basically start throwing emitters over this way. I don't care about this Crimson anymore. I don't care about anything that happens over here. I'm going to keep in reserve the singular emitter that we left over here to make sure this doesn't get overrun, this never gets connected, etc. Otherwise, we're going to push out this direction as quickly as we reasonably may. So let's go ahead and... What I think I want to go with is 5 emitters and 2 Crimson. So let's maybe throw one there. And that's a little farther out than I wanted that one, but I think it'll work. And then the extra push from the Crimson is going to get us in here fairly quickly. And, you know, once we start gaining additional territory, we move up the emitters. As I mentioned before, this is a little dicey because the Crimson is going to start flowing off to the side, and there's only so much that we can do about that. But we are moving forward. Overall, creeper level has evened out, but we're making progress in the direction we want to go. Alright. Now basically we've blocked off that Crimsonator, so it's not really doing us much good anymore. Every time that happens, we want to reset. Move forward. And I'm going to bias it towards the middle here, as opposed to going off to the side. So I'd rather have a push up this direction than flowing right or left. That, I think, is a good spot. Yep. Let's move up this Crimson. And this one is not, like, it's a little bit too close. So I'm going to withdraw. There we go. Now it's going to work a little better. Takes a while to get the feel of, you know, what you want to do with those. And continue on forward. Of course, cutting this off doesn't really do any good because they're going to get resupplied energy-wise back there. But we're about to knock out that. That's a big mortar. That should really help. Emitter. Don't know if we have actually enough push over here. Well, it's going to be close. You'll probably get some eventually. Okay. We're doing a little better than I thought we were. Let's switch you around. Nice to get rid of that sniper. That unlocks some new options for us, practically speaking. And this is too close, but we don't really have a better spot. And this, you know, I mean, we're almost on top of it. We just need a little more push. We're starting to flow down this hill, which is great. And I really want to advance more on the left anyway. Let's see about moving this one. Well, I mean, that's better. Not great, but better. And actually, you can see this crimson here, really, that's too far over. Let's have it maybe over this way a little more. And I don't care so much about taking this. We will eventually, like we're going to get rid of this cannon, but I want to go up this way. So if I just sort of move myself around here. We are gradually pushing up there, but I think I need to get more emitters out here. Well, that one will work. That should help quite a bit. Then let's shift you around as well. See, you're not deep enough. You are, though. Okay, now I should be able to get one up there. Yeah. Now we're in business. Because once you get one, it's fairly trivial to add more. Now I basically don't care about any of this over here. So we're going to go ahead and we want Crimsonators right here on the edge of the shield. Maybe another one around. Try there for now. I don't know if that'll be the right spot. Let's try there. Okay. So now I want to turn you into a launcher. Just throw you over, say about here. You are going to become a blob. Want to knock out the shield. Then we want to push in here using mesh for the first time. Sure we can get up there. And basically the idea here is you can eliminate mesh also with these X mesh ones. But to allow it to more easily flow uphill, mesh is the key. And then once it comes up here enough, like this shield is still coming on every once in a while, but there we go. We're knocking out some cannons. Now that's out. And if we eventually get it up here onto this ledge, then that shield will be gone permanently, and this hill will belong to us. So that's my goal. And I think we're basically there. So you can switch back. You're going to become an emitter, and you're going to conquer this for us. There we go. The hill is ours. And in my opinion, that part is as tricky as really any part in this mission. So if you're looking for the point of equilibrium, this is effectively it. Now let's get rid of these and reposition, because we want to go down the other side of the hill now. That's not going to activate just yet, but it won't be long. Let's see. Down there will be a good spot. And then let's start crimsonating. I am missing some things here. Not sure why. Oh, this one's over there. I should have one more. I thought I had one more crimsonator, though. You just didn't fill in as much as I thought you would as quickly, so let's do this. Yeah, I've left a crimsonator on the ground somewhere. There it is. I just couldn't see the angle. Okay. Now we're back in business. So, for now, we'll throw you here. And then I want to gradually work my way out this direction. And then let's move you. We've just got the one cannon left here. The key to this is to cut this area off. I'm forward a little bit too further here, but if I can get this crimson to start pushing out. Let's move this one over. Because if we cut this off from reinforcements, this will all fall. And that mortar going is big. And then of course we've got more mortars here. We've got an earned cannon that we want badly. That's going to be a serious thing for us. And we're going to try to turn you into a launcher. We want you to be a skimmer. And go right after that area. You can see we're pressing in on this. So we're making very good progress. And now, you know, they're going to have a harder time fighting it off. So you're probably a good one to move forward. Okay, once we start getting in down here, I want to move up the crimson eventually, but we know it's over. They're not going to be able to stop us. There we go. All of that getting stunned. It's not going to be able to fire back. Connections are eliminated for the moment. You're back up and firing, but not for long. Now we've got another urn. Beautiful. I'm going to throw you up here because I want to work my way back up on this hill. I want to leave one reserve up on this hill. And actually, could have pulled you forward earlier, but we're going to move you up as well. Just make sure this is going to be a good location to safeguard this. But now all of this falls. Trying to push up this hill is a little rough at this point, but we have boosted our power yet again. We just need to secure this. See, the shield is now gone. We're pressing in on him. Let's get rid of all the crimsonators for now. Make sure we don't leave them here and forget them. Because we're going to want to relocate once more. We could try to push through here. I mean, that's possible. But I think it's probably a little easier to come up from this side. So this may be possible, and it might be shorter. But I know I can go the other way. Alright, this is all reconnected, so all I need to do is eliminate you. And throw an emitter up there. There we go. Now we're good. Don't have to worry about anything else. We're just going to deconstruct all of this. And we effectively now have 9 urn power. Got the 1 there plus 8. Okay. Let's find some places down here that are deep enough. Are you deep? Yeah, you're deep enough. So we'll just start here. And then we'll work our way forward. You can see we're now up to almost 70k creeper. They have almost no anti-creeper on the map. I don't think the AI knows the term always on in this particular scenario. Might be good to begin crimsonating. Oh, I put an extra one down. Okay. There we go. Fix that problem. And then we're just going to spread out. I will take another one down. And crimsonate over here. And of course, this guy right here, this is our next target. I want to plow up this hill first, though. And that's just going to take some gradual beating through of all of these. I want to try to make sure, like, as I'm moving forward, I'm not pushing these emitters in front of the crimson. I'm more putting them to the side of them. Otherwise, they'll block the flow of the crimson creeper, which that doesn't help at all. Okay. More and more weapons falling to the power of the creeper as our march continues. Forward up with the crimson. Say about there. And up about here, I think. Okay, we're getting close. Let's see, maybe move you there. And yeah, pop, pop, pop all the way around. This is at the point, right about when you get this mortar, at least the way that I'm going through level, that things really start to turn in your favor. Humanity can't really fight us back now. I was going to put up, you know, a skimmer launcher. I didn't even need to. And so now we're just going to move forward. Not uncontested, but it should be a much smoother advance than it has been for a while. And frankly, we don't at this point need to even be that careful about where we're putting things. The idea is just to go forward. You can see gradual ticking up. in our total amount. Creeper on the map. Want to see that continue. Let's plop you right behind that Crimsonator. You can come up this side. Maybe. Actually isn't. Well, I mean, that might be good enough. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Push your way up that hill. Okay, so we've got a couple different targets here. We've got you and you. Notice sniper here. Sniper here, so we can't take the cheap way out with a blob. And skimmers would be of limited use. We could go that route, but I think I'm gonna be better off just doing the crawl here. You know, 2 to 3 Crimsonators. Don't get emitters in their way. Keep moving up emitters, you know, behind them. And just keep advancing. Because as of yet, they are not stopping us. I think I want to go any further forward than that. I also think I want to focus maybe a little bit more. Come on, give me a spot. That'll work. Over here, as opposed to trying to get into this. You know, let's not take on 2 earned resistance units at once. Can we get up here? That'd be nice. No. So I'm not sure where I want you. I think I just need to clear a little more space here. The advance continues. If we look over this way, you know, I mean, we've actually got so much creeper that it's sweeping back over this hill now. They're not getting anything done over this way. And we're gradually sweeping into this valley. So just the total amount of creeper really starting to reach critical mass now. And humanity is helpless against the onslaught, which I would normally consider to be a problem. But it's a good thing here. I was barely able to get that one activated. But it's really going to help us. You're going down. And that's the next defender in line. And this Crimsonator is not doing us a whole lot of good in this direction. So let's slide it maybe around here. Okay, let's see about moving you forward. I mean, I think that's sort of on the edge of the Crimson Flow. Probably a really good place to be. Maybe I can put you in between the two? Like right about there. So that they're still flowing. And now we're really pressing in on this. Yep, that's going to go. With it will be even more power and less resistance. Flow, creeper, flow, as we're 40 minutes in. So, victory is going to be ours eventually. Just need a little more time. Of course, you get another urn, throw down another emitter. I just want to make sure we hang out here long enough for this to flood. Let's go ahead and... Because this is sort of that point at which I mentioned earlier, we're not going to take on this directly. We're going to fight it more indirectly. And for now, I don't want... I'm just going to eliminate the Crimsonators. You know, this is all going to flow over this very easily. And I want to gradually tack this way. And we can pick you up. Right now, rather than worrying about where to place Crimson, I'm more just in the mode of, let's get emitters to the front line and just overwhelm them through sheer force. We're about to, you know, we're about to flood over this hill. They simply can't stop the volume of creeper that we have coming now. The subtlety has passed. And we're about to lose that resistance there. It was literally completely submerged in creeper before it died. And now we keep pressing forward. We don't have so much a target just as... Okay, where's the edge of our current creeper control? Okay. Move an emitter there. Then do that again. So wherever the sort of flat, approachable areas are, that's where we're going. Let's spread out here. More of it this way. You as well. See, that is not deep enough. This is. Okay. Just looking for that 2 depth or better. And then you can come down from here. You can rejoin the front line. You've done your rear guard duty. And I think this might be an area now where I'm going to go back and crimson a little bit. Yeah, that's too far up. Let's try it there. Because they slowed us down just enough where I'm like, okay. You can see they're using now not as much energy as they have coming in, but it's a lot closer to that level. We have almost surrounded this. And once we cut this off, it is going to go fast. Let's go ahead and crimson here. Total creeper almost to 200,000 now, and continuing to rise. These can definitely move up if we can find good places. I really want to focus down here now that I'm able to get in there. Explosions continue. Wanton destruction is heading this way. And it just, the last holds out here. Urn portal, factory, and the Rift Lab. They're not quite cut off yet, but they will be soon. Not a stash. Gonna get that right. Let's go ahead and throw you over here. Just make sure. And there goes the factory. And the rest of the neighborhood now to follow. Pop. Now you're disconnected. All of everything here is going to run out of power. And you are not going to be able to withstand what happens. We are going to... Now we're going to get rid of all our Crimsonators. And we're just going to throw down emitters and watch. Down up with 0 power. Everything must blow. Pop, pop, pop. The shields are gone now. They have no more ARG because they have no more factory. Things popping like mad. We have urns all over the place. Urns for days. Just throw emitters anywhere. Doesn't matter where. Throw them down. Make the victory even that much more ridiculous than it already is. The Rift Lab basically standing alone now, that one sniper. And all is lost. Humanity is doomed. The glorious victory for the Creeper has been won. And there we are. So, you know, under an hour. I can live with that. I'm curious what everybody thinks of this particular concept. You know, is it a horrible thing? Should I never do it again? Forget it exists? Burn any clothes I may have worn while I was doing it? Did you really enjoy this? You know, or in the middle, you know, mix it in along with other types of maps. Let me know what you think. But for success in play as Creeper, and Creeper World 4 will continue next week. Thanks for watching.